Let's talk about Kamala Harris on policy and what it would mean for the world of business. Doug Flynn joins us. Doug, the co-founder at Flynn Zito. We'll put it up on the screen here, possible policies for Kamala Harris, but she's Joe Biden's vice president. At the economy, there you go, corporate and wealthy tax hikes, housing, student loans, maybe stronger regulation. She's Joe Biden's vice president, right? And the economy's never been something that she's been known for. Economic policy. She's a prosecutor, so crime and those types of issues. Sure. Certainly abortion politics, those types of things she's very well known for. So I would bet she'd just continue sort of what Biden is doing, or maybe not. What's your read?
Interesting. I mean, she does have some really good things about when she went after the banks while she was the AG in California.
Okay.
There was some interesting things about where they had negotiated like a $4 billion settlement for some wrongdoing, and she was like, that's not good enough, and she got $18 billion out of them. So there's some good things there. I think that interestingly, it's basically, and the market's saying this, that it's just Biden, whether it's Biden, Harris, Harris, Biden, it's the same thing. However, a couple things that are slightly different is Biden, as you might know, with corporate taxes being at 21, he had mentioned he wanted to bring it back to 28.
Yes.
She's on record saying she wants to bring it to 35. So there's that. And she's a little bit more aggressive, perhaps, on getting people who make over 400,000 to pay more into Social Security. And I always laugh when the government uses 400,000 as a number because everyone who makes more than 400,000 has got to pay more. But, oh, by the way, the president's salary is 400,000, not more than 400,000.
That's right. It's exactly 400,000. You're right about that. Here's a quick clip from Harris, obviously before she knew, for sure at least, that she'd be at the top of the ticket when she was on the trail in North Carolina. We played this because she talked about the economy and the contrast as she sees it with Trump. Here she is.
Donald Trump says he will implement a 10% tariff on all imported goods. Well, understand, independent economists agree his tariffs would increase the cost of everyday expenses for families, the cost of gas, groceries, and clothing. We, on the other hand, have taken on big pharma, the big banks, and big corporations to bring down costs.
There's an interesting argument because part of it is true. The economists are saying that. You know, like to Mark Zandi, who's been on this show, saying exactly that. Those Nobel laureates that the president has talked about, and that Harris is no doubt referring to. But I know you and I have talked about this, and this leaves out the other side of it about what the effect of the tax hikes, income tax hikes, would be in terms of whether they would offset the tariffs.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, first of all those tariffs that Trump put in, if you look into it, not only did they keep them, they actually expanded some of them. So they've actually been doing more tariffs than Trump did. So, and Trump's side is he's going to put another 10% and then 60% on China. But what they're going to do with keeping taxes lower is going to more than offset the supposed $2,500 cost per family. You're going to make more than that with offsetting it. So basically saying the tariffs are going to pay for themselves by giving people back the money another way and then forcing American companies to end up being better as a choice for people, and so therefore growing the economy. That's their side. So it's a great political talking point. In the end, you know, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. If they're going to raise taxes here and lowering there and tariffs, there's a line. I keep thinking that when we get to tariffs that it is negative, but I'm not sure another 10% is going to make the difference. Otherwise, perhaps this administration would have already cut the ones that are in there.
Right. And as you remind us, there's always a question about how much of this actually gets done in any of these policies once you do get in. Thank you, Doug, as always. 9 minutes until the top.